I'm here with Al Cameron of the Calgary Herald, and Al, the Stampeders, 7-3, 7-4. Sorry, 7-4 to start the year. But what kind of 7-4 is it?
It ain't been pretty, Drew. Not even a tiny bit. And it's been bizarre because on the road 5-0, and at home ugly 2-4, and after each one of those losses, there's been a panic button that's been pushed in an awful hurry, and that's kind of been the case this past few days after a real ugly effort against the BC Lions last Saturday.
Sounds a little bit like Hamilton, a couple of losses in a row, and everybody's freaking out.
Yeah, well, that's the way it goes, and there's various people in the target. John Hufnagel, of course, Henry Burris, the O-line, a little bit of the defense for a change too. But there's a lot of targets, a lot of finger pointing, and yet through it all, you got to keep the perspective, I suppose, that this is a team that's tied for first place in the West Division, and I think any team would be glad to be in that position. But having said that, I think we in the media, the fans, and certainly the players and coaches have higher expectations.
Some talk around Joffrey Reynolds, certainly a staple in the Calgary backfield. What's going on with him?
That's a great question. I think he had 5 rushes for 15 yards or 7 rushes for 15 yards last week, and just not very effective at all. And it'll be interesting to watch practice this week to see where they go with that. LaMarcus Coker, a guy who's been on the practice roster all week, is taking a lot of reps this week so far that we've seen. Not ruling out, I suppose, that Joffrey Reynolds could be a healthy scratch for the second time in his career, and the other time was just basically to protect him for the playoffs. Anything's possible at this point. Having said that, I'd be surprised if Joffrey doesn't play, and a lot of it really comes down to the fact that the Stampeders have been behind in football games, and of course that devalues the running game as the game goes on. The offensive line has been shoddy and kind of changed from week to week. All those things kind of play into it, but Joffrey Reynolds is 31 years old, and running backs have a best before date, and I guess the question is, has he reached his?
You've been in Moncton now for, almost 24 hours. What are your first impressions of Touchdown Atlantic and the city itself?
Well, you walk around the city, all sorts of logos, all sorts of signs. They're fired up. I mean, decent turnout for practice today. Was talking to the mayor of Moncton this morning. He's fired up about it. The organizing committee's fired up about it. I suppose there will be more than a casual interest in where the Ticats kind of make their plans for the next couple of years as well. So, it's going to be a great experience here.
Make sure you follow Al on Twitter, and you can also check him out at thecalgaryherald.com. So for the Hamilton Spectator, I'm Drew Edwards in Moncton, New Brunswick.